you subscribers, all you returning subscribers, and I say it one more time. Shout out to all you subscribers, all you returning subscribers. If you are new here, then you might as well subscribe. Because do you know why? Because when I go live, there are things that I will. In fact, let me start again because I just realized something. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Shout out to returning subscribers. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. The reason why you should hit that subscribe button is because when I go live, the things you want me to react to, depending on what it is, by the way, it's live and direct. Get me? So there's gonna be some things I have in my list that I want to react to, but you know how it goes in this world. Like new things trend like every second of the day. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get straight. Like you see the title of this live stream. If you are not seeing this live, then I don't know what you're doing. But now, all jokes aside. By the way, my name is Buster, aka the Alkebulan Trust Reacts when it comes to all things reaction. And right now we are going to react to. Give me a second, let me just put up the my actual list so we can know what we're doing. Really and truly, I should have had that up first, but we move. All right, so we shall react to some jokes and featuring Diamond Platnumz. Yeah, listen. It's time for me to figure out who is this guy, bro. Man is trying to copy Davido, and I'm like, yo, if you're copying Davido, maybe you're inspired by Davido. It makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. I understand it. I don't respect it. I understand it. I'm joking. It's good to be inspired by other people. But anyway, if you're a Jux fan, hit the subscribe button. If you're a Diamond Platnumz fan, hit the subscribe button. So let's just get into it. Jux featuring. Okay, I don't know if I might butcher that. Hear me. If I butcher names of songs or actual names, just remember. Listen to the accent I have. That's basically it. So, Ololufe me. Okay, I know these guys are Tanzanian, isn't it? So what does that mean? What does that mean? See, look. I reacted to Olamide and Wizkid on my other channel. It was meant to react on this channel, but don't worry, I will upload it on this channel. So that's coming. Don't be alarmed. Get me? Let's get straight into this. Okay.
What do you think, my brother?
I don't think it's the right idea. But I understand you. Follow your heart.
Well, for real, follow your heart. But also you follow your mind. Immediately, what I'm liking about this video straight away is the incorporation of just like traditional wear. Like in terms of, I don't know I'll be honest, at this precise moment, I do not know certain things when it comes to Tanzania. We will learn that as we go along. So that's why you must stay subscribed to this channel, because these are the things that, I shall and will react to. But yeah, it looks like they're wearing what they're wearing, but it's in the case of they're going to the city. You know what I mean? Just literally just being themselves. You know what I mean? Which is interesting because now they're on Instagram. Or that's Instagram. I know.
It's the kids, baby.
Oh, okay. So you're looking for that person. By the way, okay.
Ololufe me. You know you always on my mind.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This sounds familiar. This sounds exactly like the song he has released recently with Fino. The song is called God's Design. So you mean to say he decided to say, let me remix it and just because I'll give you an example. Yeah, Chip has done the same thing. If you know anything about Chip, Chip is a UK grime MC, right? Or grime MC. And basically, to cut a long story, he got a song. This was so magic. He got a song called "Who Are You." This was released when he was like 16 years old. 16 or how many plus years later, he releases a song called "Grime Scene Savior." That that sentence, "Grime Scene Savior," he mentioned that in a verse in that "Who Are You" song. Wait for it. There's more. He also, before he released that song, he released a song with Dube called "Legend." Do you understand? And he still used "Grime Scene Savior." Then he said, "All right, let me remix that and just make a song with Grime Scene Savior," which also features Dube and a few other people. My reaction to that is on my other channel, by the way. But okay, this is interesting. This is interesting. But when was this released, though?
I think about you every time. Yeah. Wako sihemi.
Okay, this is the English translation.
Ololufe. You know you always on my mind. I think about you every time. Wako si.
All right, so here's the thing as well, yeah. You see, when it comes to, what do I want to say? I forgot. I lost train of thought. But anyways, keep moving.
Wendo usingizi. Wendo wangu mliwaza.
Okay, that's it. Okay, I'm gonna say the genre of music he's doing is bongo flavor. Is that what it's called? It's funny because I should remember the name of the genre because I remember Diamond Platnumz was on a Night Baby show. I think it was last year or the year before. I can't remember, but that's probably why I can't remember. No disrespect. It's just that a lot of things happen throughout the day. Get me? So aside from that, but it's just interesting how it still sounds like Davido's song. That's just my personal opinion, all right? I'm not even trying to be funny because sometimes you can be inspired by someone or something, and you know what I mean? Sometimes it just happens to be that you copy like that. Is what it is.
Ibana masikio. Hakuna kunipumbaza.
Okay.
Natamani masaa. Yangerudi nyuma. Mimi na wewe. Baby, mimi na wewe. Tungejua na zamani. Oh, lolo. Ololufe. You know you always on my mind.
Okay, so from what I'm understanding, now let me know the language that he's actually singing in as well. Leave the answer in the comment section below, because he said Ololufe, I can't even say it. Ololufe translates to my love. Makes sense. And if you again, I'm not trying to make the comparisons to be like bad-minded or anything like that. It's just a point of reference. It is what it is. All right. And that's in a sense, it's good because it goes to show you the influence that some people have. Some people want to dispute Davido's influence, you know, in music. Well, this is influence. You know what I mean? So, aside from that, I'm like the reality is, it really does remind me of that. Even the context of it. Like, it's funny because before, when I was reacting to the God Design tune, I was thinking to myself, I'm not understanding the lyrics per se, but then the fact that this is more or less similar, and I can see the subtitles or the captions, it's like, and it's translated in English, and I can understand it. The context and the concept is very much the same. Anyway, let's go on.
I think about you every time. Pakosi emi. Oh, lo, lo, lo. Ololufe mi. Oh, lo, 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 lo. You know you always on my mind. I think about you every time. Oh, about you every time. Pakosi emi. Oh, lo, lo, lo. Oh, lo, lo, come on, Kikos. Mas you sinking me. Ni oye na tosho. Ololufe, Ololufe, when don't para for moyo. I wanna kiss you.
I listen. I like that. Hear me? I like that. If there's anything that's my favorite part in this music video, it's that part there.
Love, love, love. Oh, what is this thing now? Oh, many for me. And I will love you today. Tomorrow we will happy, we sorrow today. Tomorrow we monachi, we color today. Tomorrow we broken, we follow. I will love you. Ololufe mi. You know you always on my mind. I think about you every time. Kwako si hemi. Oh, lo, lo, lo. Ololufe mi. You know you always on my mind. You know you always on my mind.
I just clocked something. This is going to sound so biased. Extremely biased. But hear me out. As much as Jukes married a Nigerian woman, that song with one I reacted to, by the way, before this, of God's Design, featuring Fino. Right now, it's a big song, right? I just realized that's not to say it's a big song because of Fino, but I think the timing of the release and knowing that Fino's part of it, listen, I'll be completely real with you. The Nigerian stimulus package, that's what I'm going to call it. The Nigerian stimulus package. Yeah, like the influence is real. We ain't called the giants of Africa for no reason. And that's just in music. Now imagine other fields. There's influence there. There's impact there. All right, listen. And we're going to talk about that in a different context because I didn't even write it in my list, but doesn't matter. We're going to react to that afterwards because there's something else that I need to react to. So make sure you stay tuned, stay subscribed. Let's go.
Think about you every time. Kwako si hemi. Oh, inyimbo nimeimba tuicheze. Cheze nawe, baby. Cheze nawe, me and you. Cheze nawe, wewe tu. Cheze nawe, so baby cheza. Cheze nawe, oh. Cheze nawe, wewe tu. Cheze nawe. Asa bangala 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 bangata. Cheze nawe, bangata. Cheze nawe, cheze nawe. Kurukutu. Cheze nawe, acha cha cha. Cheze nawe, achi chi chi. Cheze nawe, tu. Cheze nawe. Come slicer.
Jeez. I like the video. I genuinely, this is why I say, if you want me to react to anything, please make sure there's a music video to it. Because I genuinely like this music video. I like the music video a lot. You see, that's the visualizer that I react to. God Design. You know what I mean? So obviously, let's see. Okay, it's like, see, I didn't know. So this clearly is the original, from what it seems like. So now, because this was released 5 months ago, the music videos. I'll put this back. Just so you hear me, the music video for this was released 5 months ago. All right, so this guy just got many songs with Diamond Platnumz, and he's got 123 million views on the song Enjoy. Oh, I'm going to enjoy reacting to that video another day. Oh, we're going to react to some more jokes. So if you are a jokes fan, hit that subscribe button. If you are newly jokes fan because of his wedding, do you know what I mean? To Priscilla, you might as well hit the subscribe button. Anyway. So obviously we got to read the comments. So Druk says, give me a second. He says, me and my brother Diamond Platnumz are thanking you for all the amazing reception to Ololufe video. Your love and support mean the world to me and my lovely wife. Let's get this comment to 10 million likes and replies to show how ready you are for the special wedding day. Much love to each one of you. I mean, there's still time because they're still going to get married in Tanzania because he's got 7.3k likes till this day. So I'm going to add to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to add to that. Yeah, and add to this too, all right? Do you know what I mean? Because man did this for his wife, innit? Like, I rate any guy that does things for his wife that's positive, obviously. Don't get that twisted. That's not selfish. You know what I mean? That's selfless. Yeah? Like, seriously. That's all I'm going to say on that. But anyway, so a comment from Canada Immigration. What a name. Alright, some of you people and your names on YouTube. Oh, I, you know, let's just keep it moving now. Says all Nigerians all over the world, please, praise emoji, come out. Let's give our new in-law support. He came to marry our precious daughter, Sister Priscilla. Gather here and hit the like button. Watching from Edmonton, Canada. That's so funny. There's an Edmonton in Canada when there's an Edmonton in also the United Kingdom in London. If you know, you know. And obviously they have similar, like the Canada and the UK have similarities as well. Anyway, we can't get into that. They have similarities because of the whole, ironically, immigration process. And now I don't want to even say immigration. I want to say because of situations that has happened in the past beyond their actual physical, mental, emotional control. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm going to say on that part. But then obviously, let's keep it moving. See how, okay, so this person is from Morofe. Okay, Mora, listen, I'm just going to call you Ayo. Oh, Yemi. Nigeria and Tanzania, see how Turks and Priscilla turned us into one nation. Much love from the side of West Africa, Nigeria. This is what's so interesting. You see, listen, I know there is this stereotype that, you know, Nigerians make a lot of noise to do this, to do that. But one thing for certain is we are a very supportive nation. Like, we are a very supportive nation. Just don't do us wrong. And I know, you know, you could talk about other stuff, but, you know, just like I said, there's some things that are beyond our control. But, yeah. But anyway, let's keep it moving. Get me, let's keep it lighthearted. I don't want to talk about anything negative. So let's keep it moving. I'll say it is great to see that this version has a music. Why? was the one with Finno called God Design. You know what I mean? Like, I'm seriously confused. Why was it called God Design? Does anyone have an answer for me in regards to that? Leave your answer in the comment section below, because I'm sincerely, like, I'm intrigued to know. Anyway, let's just keep it moving. If you want to shout out, now is the perfect time. Leave it in the chat, and I will give you that shout out. But yeah, let me know what Truck's music video you want me to react to, or Diamond Platinum. Diamond Platinum is going to be a tricky one because there was someone else that used to react to a lot of Diamond Platinum tunes, and he had issues here and there with like some songs were getting blocked. So yeah, me, it's a bit of it. Like, doing music reaction videos is a techie situation. A techie situation. But speaking of a techie situation and a music collaboration as well, we're gonna react to Wendy, Shay, featuring Mavado. Yes, Mavado. We got a Ghanaian and Jamaican link up, which is not surprising, by the way, because do you know what I mean? They're like bread and butter, bruv. Like Jamaica and Ghana, like bread and butter. Like, there's no other way to explain it. It is what it is. Because in fact, why let me type it first. Why I even say that, yeah, is because what's the name of that? The Maroons. Get me. The name slipped my mind. In fact, I'll get into it. I'll do my proper research to get into it and talk about it properly. In fact, I might have to do a proper reaction on it later. Or if it's not in this live feed, another one. Yeah. But let's keep moving. Apologies. Yeah, let me apologize, by the way. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. If you're a Wendy Shay fan, hit the subscribe button. Whatever video you want me to do of her next, leave that in the comment section below, and I'll see if I can get onto it. Mavado, same thing. Let's go.
Zone Dreamers, in all space and time, where every eventuality lies just out of reach. Four friends find for themselves the true strength of unity.
Baby, though you do me wrong, don't say you're sorry.
So I just realized, I did quickly say that the name was this speaker is called Nanny of the Maroons, or Queen Nanny. See, yeah, she was born in 1686 allegedly. I'm saying allegedly because I don't know the full facts, and was an Ashanti from. Yeah, she was an Ashanti, so therefore she was Ghanaian. You know what I mean? So the connection is always going to be real. But anyway, let's keep moving.
I know you got the girl, she did me sorry. Yeah. Just because I love you, come they play me. Just because I love you, you come betray me. Don't need no apology for the harm you caused me. I don't need no apology for the pain you caused.
That's deep. And I'm glad I'm reacting to this song. like I laugh because on my list of things to react to in this live, and obviously if you're watching it in a different if you're looking on a replay, then yeah, it is what it is. But like basically I've literally got it listed down for me to react to. Eni Aluko being, I think she stepped down from her presenting role or whatever the case may be, and that was mainly because of a situation where, you know what I mean, she eventually apologized. Like, I'll get into the full context of it later, but she eventually apologized. That person at that big age didn't accept their apology, And then this is where we are now. Do you know what I mean? So, anyway.
Costly. Baby girl, I'm drowning. Please come save me. Baby girl, I'm sorry. Me miss you daily. I need a psychiatrist. I need therapy. It's fucked up, I must confess. Hurting you hurt me. Just because I love you, you can't play.
Hold on. Did Mavado just say he needs a therapist? Listen, we have entered a new era. I remember there was a time where it was looked down upon for men to go to therapy. Like, I don't think you understand, yeah, how much of a big deal that is for him to mention that in the song. I'm not saying you shouldn't go to therapy. I'm not saying to go to therapy. And obviously, yes, this is just a song, but the reality is the fact that he mentioned it. Do you know what I mean? And that's real. And a lot, like, anyway, I won't go too deep.
Me miss you daily. I need a psychiatrist. I need therapy. It's fucked up, I must confess. Hurting you hurt me. Just because I love you, you come they play me. Just because I love you, you come betray me. I don't need no apology for the harm you caused me. I don't need no apology for the pain you caused. That you are my Romeo, that you do me bad, yo.
Okay, so maybe your Romeo's done. Oh no! You get that, you get that. If you're answering in your comment section below, if you understand the reference I just made. Anyway, let's go.
You talk to me. Never try to apologize, cause it don't mean shit to me. No, you lie. And it hurt me so bad. Oh boy, you made me cry. I wonder why you now realize. It's crazy how me fucked up, but me still can't let you go. My confession put me in depression more than you know. I'm billion flowers.
Sometimes you just have to hold that L, but I get it. Yeah, I get it. This is what I like about songs that are like this, because there's some people that are going through this. You know what I mean? So for some people, it's relatable to them. So yeah.
I was for you. I wait up hours for you. Loving right here. Take with the night mirror. I miss when you wine. With the ice here. Then the legs them turn up. And your breast firm up. When you're gone, my heart just turn up one.
There you go. That's what you genuinely miss, Mavado. Now we'll get into the real point. Huh? I know, but all jokes aside, yeah, I'm gonna mention something else. I'm gonna mention it's not a Jamaican. I don't want to do stereotypes. Let me not do that. Let's just keep it clean. Let's keep it PG. But some stereotypes I just dare to obviously hear and see.
Once I do in an African writer, just because I love.
I swear he did a stereotype. I'm gonna rewind it. I want to hear that. And if he did, I'm saying my stereotype. No, let me do that. Even if he did, I won't necessarily have to do my stereotype. Is what it is.
You wine with the ice here, then the legs them turn up, and your breast firm up. When you're gone, my heart just turn up. Once I do in an African writer, just because I love you, you come they play me. Just because I love you, you come betray me. I don't need no apology for the harm you caused me. I don't need no apology cost me.
Okay. I shout out to Wendy, Shay, and Mavado. Interesting. 2 days apart, I reacted to a Vibes Cartel tune. Like yesterday, I reacted to a Vibes Cartel tune. I'm talking about something that was released recently. Yeah, and I'm gonna upload it on this channel. And then today I react to Mavado. You know what I mean? Because they had their situation going on back in the day. If you know, you know. So that's interesting to me. But anyway, let's keep it moving. Let's see what people are saying in the comments. Looks like the person who directed this was Eni Louise. Shout out to Amy Louise. All right. Mavado is the man. Drop bangers, Gully, because he thinks Gully, and then no, what's the thing? No, he thinks Gully God or whatever it is. And then what's the Vibes Cartel? Vibes Cartel is I don't even want to say it, because if I say what I want to say, you know what I mean? Because of what's going on in that real particular area. I mean, anyway, if you know, you know. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. You know what he says. All right? Starts with a G. Ironically. Anyway, BNT says St. Elizabeth check-in, Jamaica. Gully, okay, keeping up with Cashville. Gully sent me here and never heard of Wendy before. She's powerful voice. We got a go subscribe, bless up. You see, this is what I like to see. You see, these type of collaboration is what happens when it comes to these type of collaborations. Someone may never have heard of that artist before. Like, for example, I think I've heard of Wendy Shay before. I've seen her name about, but I haven't really reacted to her stuff or listened to her stuff, I'll be honest. However, I have heard of Mavado, and I have listened to his stuff for a long time, and I haven't reacted to any of his songs, to be fair. So, this is what collaborations can do. It can bring in a new fan base or new listeners or new whatever, you know what I mean? So, and that's good for both economies. And I say economy because you never know. Let's imagine if Wendy Shay decides to release more music, which I do believe she would do, and let's say she decides to work with more artists in Jamaica, and then she does her tour, and she ends up touring in Jamaica, and then vice versa with Mavado touring in Ghana. You know what I mean? It's just those type of things there, and then helping out, because obviously features, artists get paid for features. You know what I mean? If they get their business right, they get paid for their features. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It helps the economy. It helps everyone. You know what I mean? Anyway, so this song and video is straight vibes. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are on this tune. If you want to shout out now, it's the perfect time to leave that in the live chat. If not, we'll just go keep it moving. Shout out to everyone watching. The next thing we're going to react to is you know what? I did have it planned to react to, but I just realized how long I've been live streaming for right now. Oh my days, I did something that I shouldn't have done. Like, this thing is so sensitive, so bear with me, people. This thing is so sensitive. So sensitive. Let's see if it does the same. Give me a second, people. I've got to make sure that the technicals are working. No, it goes straight to that. I don't know why it does that. All right, we're back in motion. All right, so by the way, my name is Virtual, aka Alkebulan Trust Reacts when it comes to all things reaction. Right now, we're gonna react to partly of what is the main event, which is Benn versus Eubank Jr. Legendary status achieved. Get me? I know I technically reacted to this on my other channel, but I don't care. I'm reacting it again here. You know what I mean? So that was the whole point. Because I was thinking to myself, should I react to something else? But I'm not. I don't really want to react to that at this moment. Actually, no, wrong. Because this song is called Apology, we're going to react to the whole Eni Aluko situation and apology. So first, I'm gonna go to Twitter. I call it Twitter. Yes, it's Twitter. And if you call it anything else, you are not of the social media world. All right. You hear me? Just like how what's his name said in is it Coming to America in from the barbershop? Like if he calls him Clay about Muhammad Ali, if he calls him Clay, his mama called him Clay, so I'm gonna call him. No, his mama called him Cash. You know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. But Muhammad Ali was kind of ironic that I was talking about this. Anyway, shout out to Davido with you featuring Omelette becomes the first song to earn at least 500k streams daily on Spotify Nigeria for 2 consecutive weeks. I understand that. I respect that, Davido, but can you come clean on how much you are earning per stream? Because the moment these artists come clean on how much they earn per stream on Spotify, in whichever country, especially in Nigeria, the better. Because I've heard some things, and I need facts, right? But I've heard the pay is very, 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 very low. So it's all good having these stats and these numbers. It's all good. It looks good. It looks nice. But the reality is, if you're not getting paid for your work properly, then what's the point? You know what I mean? Yes, I know Davido's rich. You know what I mean? Yes, I know he comes from well. But the point I'm trying to make is, realistically, you want to be paid for the work that you do. Obviously, you've got passion for it. Anyway, let's not get to it. I apologize. See what I did there? Let's just get straight into it. Eni Aluko steps down. Hold on. All right, so by the way, my name is Versatile, aka the Alkebulan Trust name you can trust when it comes to all things reactions. And right now we're going to react to Eni Aluko quits presenting job after being left traumatized by Ian Wright's fallout. And someone replied, "This is their EPL Bible, that is verified. These people clearly paid for this and they have their own agenda against this woman." And this is what I do not like. I do not like how look. This is gonna sound, forget how it sounds. At the end of the day, you need to be unbiased, right? You need to look at the facts of how we got in this situation in the first place. This is why when I reacted, when I saw when I first heard of it, I'm like, let me find out what happened. What's the backstory to this? That, like, how did we get here? And that was because of Claire MacDonald. Yeah, Claire MacDonald was the British Broadcasting Corporation presenter. Yeah, on, I believe it's BBC Radio 4, right? She was the one that was interviewing Eni, and guess what happened? It was not Eni Aluko that brought up Ian Wright's name. It was not her. Furthermore, if I remember correctly, she didn't even bring up the subject too tough anyway. All she is like, you know what? This is how, if you're, it's correct. It's I don't know. Basically, where I grew up, they call that a draw out. That they draw her out by mentioning Ian Wright's name and the context of how his name was brought up. They drew her out and she fell for it. She fell for it. Is that her fault? As an adult, I'm going to say yeah. Do you know what I mean? As an adult. And the reality is this. Unfortunately, some people find her to be a very awful presenter. Is she the only awful presenter? No. In terms of football punditry, is she the only one? No. Do you ever, to some degree, when you think about it, like, I'll give you an example. Jamie Carragher, awful defender in his time. Awful defender in his time. Awful presenter, pundit right now. He has, and it's so ironic. Get me, I've got the TV on in the background, and do you know what I mean? How I view that person and how that person is, that's how Jamie Carragher is. And how this situation is, that's how that situation is. If you can read into that, you can read into that. And then they want to say, do you know what I mean? Kick it out, but meanwhile, they're not doing anything to kick it out. And this is why I said Ian Wright was wrong. You know what I mean? Ironically, Ian was wrong. Ian wrong. You're wrong. You are wrong for not placing yourself in a position to accept her apology and just, resolve things backstage. Or not backstage, but like behind closed doors, whatever. If you got a phone number, call her and say, yo, Eni, what's up with this? You know what I mean? Like, come on, I've been helping out with women's football. I've been helping open doors. You know I'm not taking people's jobs. You know this. You know what I mean? Can we just get this information correct? Let me bring you on. I think he's got another. He's on a show. I think it's the Overlap or something like that. Bring her on the show and let her speakers have her say. Like, there's ways to resolve issues. You know what I mean? There's ways to resolve issues as adults. Like, at your big age. Anyway, let's just keep it moving. Because that, it's just more than the same thing. And this is what someone else put, yeah? Eni Aluko has done three things detrimental to her career in one action. Severely underestimated the nation's love for Ian Wright. Let's continue. 2, been vocally hypocritical in male-dominated sport about an actual ally for the women's game. Unprovoked. Overestimated her importance. You see, this is why people need to learn how to be a critical thinker. The reason why I say people need to learn how to be a critical thinker is because then we won't see reactions and response like this. You see, even below it says Eni Aluko is a strange one. Happy to be a pundit for the men's game, but doesn't want any men working on the women's game. It's the context. Everything is just context. I want to see if I can get hold of that interview and hear what she has to say. I really do, because I know I read to it before, but I need you to hear it properly. This is where it started, and this is my thing. If you ask who comes to below, if someone says something about you that was wrong, and you knew them personally, and let's say, for example, even though you know them personally, in the same context of how this situation happened in terms of your name was brought up by someone else, not that person that you know, and you're telling me, like, what would you do? Would you, or is it a case of, forget, in fact, I'm trying to think properly because it still confuses me. How has this happened? You get it? Like, how has this happened? Like, how do you allow yourself to... It's one thing for Eni Aluko to be in a situation where she's been drawn out and again, she is a black woman. That's another added thing to it. Irrespective of her punditry skills, do you know what I mean? Or whatever you may think of her punditry skills, there was already going to be a thing of, we don't want to listen to her. Well, not we, but some people don't care to listen to what she got to say anyway, just based on the fact that she's a black woman. You may not want to like hearing that, but that's a simple fact. Now, when you add the context of how this has transpired, rather than people going to be like, hang on, let me listen to the interview. Why would she say that? Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like, the newspapers, the media, the mainstream media would find a way to make it seem what it is, it seem like what it really isn't. They are very good at making the bad look good and the good look bad. In fact, Malcolm X had a quote. Let me see if I can find it. Literally, Malcolm X has a quote in regards to that. Watch Malcolm X quote on. So it says here, Malcolm X. The irony. All right. So if you're not careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. He said the media is the most powerful entity on the earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and make the guilty innocent, and that's power. So you tell me something. This whole situation with Claire McDonald, she needs to come out and tell the truth. Yeah, I get it. Some people need to do research, but some people are too lazy to do the research. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna do the research. I'm gonna react to it because that's what I do. Yeah, but that's what I like to do. But it's like, and aside from that, even if I wasn't doing that, I do like to do thorough research. But like, wait, let me find out the real truth. What are the real facts? Like, how did this start? Okay, how can this be solved? That's my other thing. I'm like, how can this be solved? Because the moment I saw this news of her quitting, I said, yo, Uncle Ian needs to now publicly apologize to Eni and just accept her apology. Do you know what I mean? And to come together. I can't remember the full thing I said, but I feel like they now need to, when it's Jamaica versus Nigeria, these two need to be pundits on the game. You know what I mean? Like, that would be great to witness. They can, you know what I mean? Like, I'm because obviously he sees Nigerian and she played for England. Ian Wright's Jamaican, but played for England. You know what I mean? So it's a good added thing knowing that game is going to be in England. To me, it just makes sense. All right. But I'm gonna see if I can actually find the article real quick because I feel like, Claire McDonald. Let's see, what's her name? Claire McDonald. Eni Aluko. Ian. Right. You know what I mean? We need to get the full. All right. You know what? Real comedy jam. Did they post it? Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, allow cookies. All right, cool. Log in. If it wants to log in, it can anytime today. Oh, okay. Yes, I approve. What's going on? There you go. I approve. Yes, it is me. Finish. All right. Always confirm. Let's make trusted device. All right. I hope this is the actual thing, and I hope it doesn't get blocked. Hang on. Oh, here we go. Where are they playing? Why can't I hear it? See, look, even someone else, this is the top comment, says, how sad that Eni has quit. She was speaking the truth with intelligent observation for us to change across society, not just football. We all love Righty, including Eni. She was not coming for him. The presenter was persistent in her use of Righty as an example. Framed, hope Eni gets back on the horse. We need her. Exactly. Like, thank you. Like, we're gonna play this, yeah, because I didn't get the chance to play it the last time. So yeah, let's play this. Let's play this.
That's really dangerous, because if you ignore quite a lot of people at the beginning that told me to ignore him, and I think that's really dangerous, because if you ignore somebody who has 3.5 million followers, who can tweet to the world at large, who has other people saying the most horrific things, who have smaller accounts, then you just let it become a culture that just is the norm. Somebody has to continue, well, we all have to continue, holding people to account for this culture that is unfortunately still existing around women and women in sport. I've been doing this 11 years, and, I was one of the first in the men's game to be visible. And gradually over the last 11 years, it's become more normalized, but it's still not at the point where it's normal enough, where we're not easy targets for abuse and misogyny and sexism and racism. So I think the only way really is to continue centering women, continue supporting women in a way where the broadcasters are actually doubling down and saying, no, we support these women despite the external abuse that they have to face.
And I'm going to pause it for a bit. You got to understand this. This is why it's better to watch things fully, because I still need to understand because obviously we're seeing pictures being placed in front of us, but we need to understand what's question being raised. But let's go.
Do you stand by these criticisms a year on? You've been through a lot in the last year.
Yeah, I do, and I think in many ways it's sort of a mixed positive and negative, right? So I'm happy that the women's game has grown and it's seeing an exponential growth in all areas, on the pitch, off the pitch, broadcasting. But I still feel like there is a double standard, where there is still a limited amount of opportunities for women, female broadcasters, both in the men's and the women's game. We're still competing for 2 or 3 seats maximum, which includes the presenters. Whereas I think there is a lot of men who have much broader opportunities, who are now coming into the women's game. So, for example, if you look at the WSL in terms of coaches, I think there's 6 or 7 male head coaches.
Yeah, that's true.
There's still not one single female head coach in the men's game. So
that's actually genuinely true when I think about it, because that's why I'm glad that Chelsea Football Club, the women, when Emma Hayes left, do you know what I mean? Guess what? We hired I say we as if I'm a Chelsea fan, if you don't know, but Chelsea hired a woman. Do you know what I mean? And look at that. They've only gone on just won another WSL. They won another one. You know what I mean? Get me? That's their first title. Not first title, because they won another title earlier in the season. But they won the title. You know what I mean? The league title. I think they got the domestic double. The double this season. So I feel like I probably have more trophies. I have to look at the stats properly. But either way, and I should know this as a Chelsea fan, but listen. But no, on a real level, yeah, I look at it and I'm like, yo, we're in a perfect position to understand that this is just a reality across the board in many industries. The proportions of men being hired versus women. And that's not to say, you should hire women just because they're women. No, obviously they have to have the credentials and the men have to have the credentials. However, there's some cases where it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? You can't, it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Let's keep moving.
So whilst the women's game's growing, we have to be very careful that it's still a space for women to develop their careers as broadcasters, as coaches. What we don't want is a repeat dominance of men in the women's game as broadcasters, as coaches, earning more money than women when we can't do the same in the men's game. I would never, ever be able to usurp Gary Neville or Jamie Carragher. You know, these are guys who...
Okay, now, yeah, okay. She was at fault herself for bringing up Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville. You know what I'm saying? She's at fault for that. I can't even lie. So if she never brought those two up, would Claire have brought up Ian Wright? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I don't know.
Who have done it for a long time. They're brilliant broadcasters. They rightly dominate their sport. I think the same should apply in the women's game.
I'm thinking of Ian Wright, who has been an incredible advocate for women's football, but also is...
You see, look at the stuff. I'm thinking of Ian Wright. Like, who told you that you should be thinking of Ian Wright? Is Ian Wright thinking of you? Get out of it.
Used a lot as a pundit. Is this the kind of thing you're talking about? That high-profile men come in and that's taking up space that could be a female appointment?
Yeah, I mean, look, listen, I've worked with Ian a long time, and you know, I think he's a brilliant broadcaster. But I think he's aware of just how much he's doing in the women's game. I think he should be aware of that. And the fact of the matter is, as I said, there is a limited amount of spaces, you know, available. If we had a situation where there was an equal opportunity in the men's game for broadcasters and coaches than there is in the women's game, it's a free-for-all. But that's not the case. I can't dominate the men's game in the way that, you know, you used Ian as an example. Ian is dominating the women's game.
Do you think it's wrong that he is?
I don't know about wrong, but I think we need to be conscious. And we need to make sure that women are not being...
See, she's not saying anything negative or bad towards Ian Wright. So whoever got that, this is why comprehension skills, do you know what's funny, yeah? I promise you, yeah, I learned comprehension skills when I went to Saturday school. Ironically, yeah, so maybe it needs to be put into the education system, like the English. Actually, I did learn it in English as well. Get me? Shout out to Mrs. Johnson and that, you know what I'm saying? Get me? She did kind of teach that when I was in year 7. I won't lie. But the reality is, yeah, like if you think about it, what she said was nothing wrong. She said you use Ian Wright for an example, and obviously, you know, when you're having a conversation with someone and they bring up someone, and you're only got a certain amount of time to talk about a particular subject, or not just a particular subject, but talk to that person. Do you know what I mean? Especially when it comes to broadcasting on platforms like that, there's a limited amount of time, so you can't be doing or thinking about someone else or trying to pull up facts there and then. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it's impossible, but you have to realize the position they are in. If they're if they're using Ian Wright as an example, that's them. If she was just to stick to Jamie Carragher and said, "Oh, what you mean, like Jamie Carragher or Gary Neville?" Then you could be like, "Oh, wait, she brought up," you know what I mean? Then you could be like, "No, well, she brought him up in the first place. She didn't bring up Ian Wright." Now, is she wrong in what she's saying that in terms of men take up the spaces? No, she's not wrong. She's absolutely right. But I will say this: sometimes it is the name of the brand. It's the brand name of the person and that personality that draws people to watch something. So, for example, when, for example, I don't know, let's just say, for example, Gary Lineker being on Match of the Day. People will watch Match of the Day because of Gary Lineker. Furthermore, Match of the Day still exists. I don't watch that anymore. That's mainly because, you know what I mean? Like, one, he's quit anyway. You know what I mean? He's no longer on Match of the Day as far as I remember. 2, I prefer to watch something else. I prefer Filthy Fellas, which I haven't really watched properly in a long time. I'll be real with you. Do you know what I mean? However, I also prefer to genuinely watch Band Sports Ooze. Well, I say Band Sports Ooze, but get me with Ransom Bands and Expressions. Ooze, or Ooze and Expressions, whatever you want to call it. So I prefer to watch that. Do you know what I mean? I genuinely prefer to watch that because that's like watching Mandem. It's like Mandem just talking about, do you know what I mean? Even though sometimes it is what it is, but like that's what I prefer. But the problem is, you got the type of, we live in a society where now people have better options in terms of what they can watch, what they can listen to. So the brand name. So for example, Ranks and Banks were to be presenters or pundits on a team let's just say, for example, the Women's World Cup for a prime example, or the WSL, the Women's Super League, for example, would more people watch? I 100% believe more people would watch. It's the brand name. So it's like, for example, who is a woman I can think of that would, like, for example, I don't even know what her name is, but that woman that works with Thierry Henry and Jamie Carragher, for example, like on CBS, I forgot the name of the show, but like that woman there, you know what I mean? She would, people tune in to watch because of her and the interaction she has with those people. Do you understand? Like, and I'm talking about name and branding, and I can't remember her name, but that's the point I'm trying to make. Like the clip of her going viral when, and Michael Richards there, that's what the clip of her going viral with Michael Richards talking about a particular sports team in France, the banter in between. It's hilarious to watch. That's the whole point. It's personality, it's branding. So I personally think, yeah, this is just a thing. I'm just thinking maybe this might sound hard to say. I think maybe as far as punditry is concerned, I think it's time for her to just step away from punditry. Maybe not permanently, but I say step away from punditry, as he has already stepped down. But I think she should now evolve into getting her coaching badges if she hasn't already, and then get into the coaching game, and then so on and so forth. She already owns a team, a football team. I forgot the name of the football team she owns. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's clear she's got passion for the sport, but I think sometimes you've got to find your lane in different aspects of the field that you're in as you evolve as a person. Because obviously she was a footballer as well, and she did her thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's what it is. And we'll keep moving.
Blocked from having a pathway in broadcasting in the women's game. It's still new, it's still growing. There's a finite amount of opportunities, and I think that men need to be aware of that. Men need to be aware that you're in a growing sport for women, and we haven't always had these opportunities.
This is where I'm gonna say again, it comes down to who's hiring and why they're hiring. So she can say men need to be this and do that. It just comes down to who's hiring and why they're hiring. That's just for me personally, because it's like, you tell me if I knew, for example, watching like Champions League, if I was to watch, for example, Alan Shearer as a pundit for a Champions League game, no disrespect, brother, I don't want to hear your voice, bruv. Like, what have you got to tell me and other people about the Champions League that you've never won? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, what do you have to tell me about the Champions League and what that team should do and what that team should, you know what I mean? Premier League, cool, whatever. You know what I mean? Because he's won the Premier League with, was it Blackburn? You know what I mean? So, like, and he's relegated Newcastle before. Like, do you see what I'm trying to say? Like it's funny I'm bringing up Alan Shearer, but for example, who's a pundit that I can think of that's won the Champions League before? I can't even think of any. But as far as a woman is concerned, I don't know. I can't think of any other woman that I can think that would be a good pundit in terms of like that would draw people into actually genuinely want to watch. Because it's at the end of the day, it's entertainment as well. It's entertainment. So if you can't bring that entertainment value, and I get, yes, you can't always, I don't know, but I think she just needs to step into the coaching field. Do you know what I mean?
And so it's about the awareness and supporting other women through that pathway.
It could be argued, of course, that somebody who is a household name like Ian Wright takes an audience with him to women's football. That has to be
exactly what I was saying about branding. She mentioned it. And I'm glad she kind of did in a way, because here's why. She already brought up his name in the first place.
A good thing, surely.
It is a good thing. No, it absolutely is a good thing. But I would say that there's female broadcasters that are household names too. And we've done a lot in the sport. I just don't want to see women being blocked in women's sport.
Eni Aluko there. And just to say, we did contact Ian Wright's agent,
I have to talk about
are
this
yet
week,
to hear back
what's
on
gone
that.
on.
You tried to contact Ian Wright. Yeah, right. And this is why, like, we'll watch this because I did a full reaction. In fact, no, we don't need to. You can see my reaction, but he didn't accept her apology. And this is what's so irritating. It's like, had he watched this, would he accept her apology? Anyway, let's continue watching.
I don't want to endlessly be asked about it. I've got to say I'm very disappointed by what Eni has said. She knows how I've helped her, supported her publicly. And I know the previous conversations she's had with me and my management. So for me, I've seen the apology on social media, but I can't accept it. But I also want to move on from it. For anyone watching this, I really don't need any further like social commentary directed at anyone on this.
No, because listen, I don't want no copyright claims. All right, look, I'm gonna be completely real with you, yeah. Like, he is saying this, yeah, but people are going to have some commentary regardless. We live in that type of era, that type of world. People are going to have things to say. I just still think Ian Wright needs to just be a man, you know what I mean, and just apologize. Like, it's funny, he needs to now apologize. Do you know what I mean? He needs to apologize to Eni, and then not only that, accept her apology, and then now Claire McDonald, she needs to apologize. She needs to say she is the cause of this division. Because what is the agenda here? Anyway, listen. Let's get back into YouTube real quick. Before we even get to that, if you want to shout out, leave your in the live chat and I'll give you a shout out. You know what I mean? But yeah, by the way, my name is First Star, aka the Alkebulan Trust, a name you can trust when it comes to all things reactions. And right now we are going to we're going to react to. All right. Well, I'm still going to react to. Give me a second. The Chris Eubank situation. So, Benn versus Eubank Jr. Where is it? Legend. So yeah, if you're a fan of boxing, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. Look, I know, like I said, it is what it is. All right.
Want next level pay? Get next level skills.
Jobs with digital skills pay better, much better.
True fact. Where do you start?
Click start. It's the
Did you have a bad dream last night?
Oh, I never remember my dreams. Why?
Don't know what they're advertising now.
In this very special episode of Call Chris Eubank, I'm going to be discussing the feeling. I'm going to tell you the stories of how it came together. And obviously we're talking about the fight of the century.
What have you been doing the last 48 hours and how's Junior going now?
Junior went into hospital straight after, so we were in the ambulance, the sirens, the horns are beeping, chaos. My son Junior is very proud. He's very proud. His face looks like a blown up football, almost twice the size. And he'll never let you see that because he's proud.
Listen, I'm not going to go back to do what I did in the previous one that I reacted to. But if you know, you know. Martin, when he fought Tommy Hearns, if you know, you know.
It just brought me back all those years ago to think about what Michael went through. And I was feeling and seeing and hearing all of that. And I'm saying to myself, people don't know, but my son is touch and go. And the only way we're going to know whether he's going to be okay is after the CT scans. He suffered mostly in the hospital because of dehydration, even though the beating was severe. And that's why he was in such discomfort for 24, 30 hours. You know how many times I welled up? You know how many times I trembled at 35 years old for him to be losing, coming back down to 160, semi-conscious, and he has been battered, just like his adversary in Connor. And he came into the hospital probably 2 o'clock in the morning. And when I looked at him, I did break down. He was on the bed and his legs were obtusely bent and he was like this. And I couldn't see whether he was actually awake. And as I walked closer and I said, "You okay?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm okay. The fight was extraordinary. And I never thought I would see this type of performance from my son. From round 6 to round 12, he stayed in the pocket. In the pocket is where you're standing toe to toe. I don't want my son to have to go through that again. He doesn't know that his life was in the balance. Neither does he care. Everyone would have thought, oh, this is all about money. When that fight began, that was nothing to do with money. And it kept on proving that.
Yeah, the reason why it's nothing to do with money, it's only because, look, both of these guys, yeah, you gotta remember, they're fighting for their name, their family name, and the legacy of their fathers that they created. And it's funny because when you think about boxing, yeah, especially like British boxing, there are only a few names that you can literally read off in your head, yeah, that you can think of. Leave an answer in the comments below if you know. Name the British boxers that you know that you can think of. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so for me, growing up, there was Frank Bruno. There was Lennox Lewis, who beat Mike Tyson, by the way. Then there's also Chris Eubank, Senior. Yeah. Those are the three that I literally can say, hey, yo. Like, nowadays, obviously, it's Anthony Joshua, and you know what I mean? And even before that, there was Ricky Hatton, you know what I mean? But aside from that, like, the 90s set the bar. You know what's funny, yeah? The 90s set the bar for everything. Music in different genres, movies in different genres, fashion in different parts of the world. Like, it set the bar for everything. Wow, what an era. Like, the 90s has to be arguably the best era of all time. Like, it has to be. Then again, I say that, but I don't even know. But anyway, that side, as far as British boxing is concerned, that fight between Chris Eubank Sr. and Nigel Benn, the first one and the second one, is the one that really solidified, yeah, it solidified British boxing. That's just facts, yeah. And it's funny because most when it comes to boxing, you would mostly associate heavyweight boxers, but these guys were not heavyweight boxers. And it's funny, for years I thought, not to say I didn't know they were not heavyweight boxers, but growing up, I didn't know, but it almost felt as if they were. And if you think about boxing, boxing is always promoting the heavyweight fighters. Those are the faces of boxing. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Point over and over and over until the decision. You know, I'm so proud of that boy of mine. And I'm so proud of Conor Benn. And it will echo into eternity. That's what money can't buy. And the way Conor lost, I mean, listen to his words. You're listening to a man who has got code.
The entrance where people saw you for the first time. I saw an interview where you said you didn't hear the crowd.
Yeah.
Have you seen the clip of that?
I saw the clip and I can hear the crescendo behind.
Yeah, and then it gets even louder.
Yeah.
When you walk together.
Yeah.
The commentator said that's the moment of the year. Watching that back and in the moment, what's the feeling?
I'm welling up now. You know, a moment of a lifetime. This looks like it's been orchestrated, like there's been a director, a physical director, for the car to pull up where it did, for me to be on the left-hand side of the car and not the right, for me to push the door open, and it got lodged just a little bit, and then it opened. I put one foot down, and there is the world's media, and I chuckled.
We're doctors Hassan and Hussein, cosmetic dentists and owners of Smile White. And we've worked with our team of clinical
I was directed spiritually.
And that's the thing about life, yeah? When you're connected, listen, this may sound like I'm preaching, but I don't care. Listen, when you have pure, I don't want to say pure faith, I can't speak for everyone else, but like, this is just me personally in my own life. When I, like, the time when I fully acknowledged and said, I accept God as the director in my life. He controls everything. He orchestrates everything. Like, and I let God be God. You know what I mean? I literally let go and let God. Yeah. And I'm like, and the way things just instantly, the blessings that come, like, I don't like to explain. I don't want to sound like I'm bragging either, because I'd rather be humble and just do what I'm doing. But like, I'm only saying this to make a point. Like, it's amazing how things can be perceived by other people and even by yourself. You can be taken aback thinking, wow, like this moment, like, for example, yeah, it's so interesting when I think about it, yeah, like, even with this particular situation, because remember, this could, I'm not saying this could have ended a draw, but knowing boxing, there's either two things that can happen, or three things, technically. No, technically two. One person could either win, no, three things. One person could win by knockout. They could win by unanimous decision, like how Chris Eubank Jr. won by unanimous decision. Then you have the other situation where it could be a draw, right? So those are the three things that can happen. But that didn't, but the second one happened, the unanimous decision of a winner, basically. So when you put that into context, right? On Instagram, even like, I don't know how many days before, I responded to Chris Eubank Sr.'s, I don't know what post was on Instagram, but I left the post and I said something like, this could be PR. I don't really say this is PR, but I said, yeah, what if his son, but yeah, then I'm like, what if his son wins? And I also said about they were reconciled, but I said that on several pages, whatever, they were reconciled. I didn't know when they would. I didn't know how they would, but that's exactly what it seemed. And that's interesting to me, how even that the fact that even though I was saying, oh, you know what I mean, it's PR, it could be, it's good promotion, do you know what I mean? And I wasn't saying that because I know it as that. It kind of felt that way, but even looking at how he entered and all that stuff there, it still felt that way, but who cares? It's like, this is still iconic, the way he opened that door, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so iconic, like iconic. You get me? The guy is a national treasure. I'll say it all the time. This guy is a national treasure. Let's go. And it's so funny. Anyway.
I'm good, but I'm not that good. That's why it moved the nation and the world.
Yeah.
I got in touch with Junior probably 10 minutes past 8 the night before the fight. I haven't been in touch with him. Being there for my son, I was...
No. I literally promise you. This is what... Look at God, yeah? I promise you. The time he said this was literally 9 minutes past 8. I kid you not. I kid you not. And obviously he said 10 minutes past 8, but that's still within 1 minute of 10 minutes past 8. Look at God. Anyway.
Always going to be there. Just not in anybody else's time. Right. The amount of comments, you've got to be there for your son. You've got to be there for your son. You've got to be there for your son. All this time I'm thinking, every time I read it, okay, I'm not even reading that because the fight's not going to happen. And let me be clear on this. Until the referee said box, I would have bet my life this fight wouldn't have happened.
What happened in that conversation?
So at 10 past 8 on Friday night, I sent him a message. The message said,
10 past 8.
Call me when you're in private.
As he's talking about it, it's 10 past 8. Yo, nah. Like the type, because think about it, if you've been watching this live stream from the beginning, you would have noticed I was going to react to this video. Yeah, and it's not the fact that I'm going to react because of this time, this, that. No, it's just I thought, let me react to this first because of the song Apology I react to. So I thought, you know what, it makes sense to react to the whole Eni Aluko situation with Ian Wright and Claire McDonald. I thought it would only make more sense. So, and then as we are talking about sport, it only makes more sense to now talk about sport, to continue on talking about sport. Do you get it? It had, and think about the timing of everything. I said I was going to play that apology ending of it. I thought, but no, let me just continue with it. You know what I mean? Because I like to finish everything that's on my plate, so to speak. Let's go.
Please. Maybe 10 past 10, I got a call back. I can check on my phone what time it was. Now, I haven't spoken to him, and you would have seen and probably felt this in all the interviews and press conferences that he had. You would be able to read that he hasn't been in contact with me. When someone is going the wrong way, you have to watch them go, because the more you try to hold them back is the harder they pull away from you. Junior called and he said, I didn't want to call Dad because I can't hear anything negative. I said to Junior, okay, all right, so where are you? Okay, so he explained. So not giving anyone a boost, a park plaza. So how am I going to get in now? In my mind, you have the world's media there. Everyone's hanging around. So how am I going to get in? Okay, so I put on the disguise. The disguise, when he saw me, he said, no one's going to recognize you. You couldn't see me. I had a Issey Miyake coat on, which is down to literally your ankles.
I said this in my first initial reaction, yeah. Like, if I saw that person on the street, one, I'd be technically scared, I can't even lie to you. But at the same time, I would have thought that was Kanye. Like, I genuinely thought that was Kanye. Who would you thought it was? Even also comes to below. Let's go.
I had a hoodie, which is, if you will, the mod coat, the green mod coat, the coat they wore in the 1960s on their mopeds. And then I had a mask that went up, and a cap. The shoes I wore were Primsoles. They were trainers, they're black. And Junior even said, wow, there's no way anyone's going to recognize you looking like that. I'll set it up one day for you to show you. So,
okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet, it's this dope tech from Wix. Now this whole...
he had booked me a room. So we went up to the room and we sat and we spoke. Now these were my words to him. What do you want me to do, son? This is your show. This is your gig. And he said, well, lots of things we've got to do this now. Everything's got to be changed now because, you know, we had this set up. We've got an orchestra. We had all these different elements of entertainment. There was a rapper, maybe 4 different types of entertainment. And
now, for him mentioning there was a rapper, leave your answer in the comment section below. Which rapper do you think it was? Like, I think, let me think logically. I'm just trying to think. Who's got great stage presence? Because even, no, then again, that wouldn't happen. Would it? Because I think that maybe it could be Stormzy. But I just remember Chip walked out with DW, walked out Anthony Yard with DWE performing their song. I don't know whether it's either Legend or Gramsci Xavier, one of the two. I think it was Gramsci. No, it was Legend. It was like Legend. So I think, and obviously that's grime. So if you got that, and obviously Anthony Yard was undercard. So I'm just thinking out loud, all right? There's only one rapper right now that when you think about number-wise in terms of viewership, that will get more eyes onto the game or onto the match or onto the, you know what I mean? It would be Central C. You know what I mean? It would be Central C. But then I'm thinking, if not Central C, because there had to be a UK rapper. Well, it doesn't have to be, but I can only think of it being a UK rapper. It's really got me thinking. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Let's go.
And all were to substitute for me not being there. So when I came in, everything else went. The only thing that actually stayed was the orchestra. Now, this is probably one of the most private things I can tell you, because it's the truth. You have to understand the magnitude of this. Junior is not an emotional human being. He's not emotional. I mean, I'm talking about at all. Now, you would say, well, yeah, come on, within reason. No. He sent me a message, and I can show you, Mike, afterwards. He sent me a message. The message said, glad you are here. That's like the moon come into Earth, come into within a mile of the Earth. It does not happen. He doesn't do that. So what looks innocuous, if you will, to the eye that doesn't understand, that's a huge thing, huge. I'm glad you're here. What's so wonderful for his future is that it's going to come when he puts the gloves down. Which brings me to this point, I must tell you this. If he were to retire right now, he would have a richness that money can't buy. He would have the position of prince for life. You won the hearts of the people, Junior. You won my heart, Rastafari.
The entrance was iconic.
There you go, Rastafari. Hey, shout out to Chris Eubank Senior, man. It's good to see the of where he is in society, what he's doing right now. He's still going to represent his culture where he's from.
Iconic, almost as iconic as you getting out of the car and walking with you. The whole thing was amazing.
Thank you, Lord. Praise the Lord.
There was a clip of you speaking to how you organised Simply the Best.
Simply the Best is in the hearts of the people. This particular tune, all it represents, in the bass, in the voice. I explained, get the bass heavy on this. In truth, it wasn't heavy enough, but that's okay. I just happen to love this record because I feel it. And I said to Junior, Do you know what I want for being here with you? This is after some years of actually having a one-to-one, face-to-face. One eye looked up there, one eye went there. It's like, well, I don't know. What do you want? I want nothing, I said. Nothing. I have everything.
By the way, this is what's so interesting, because I would have thought it was his son's idea to use Simply the Best. So it literally has me thinking, and I said it before in my initial reaction, I think maybe it was Nigel Benn's idea to have, but then I don't know. It's so interesting though. It's very interesting how everything played out. It genuinely feels like a movie. There needs to be a docu-series of this family, the Eubank. There needs to be a docu-series of boxing families per se anyway. Like the Eubanks, then you got the Mayweathers. Do you know what I mean? Like we need to see what goes on, and it will inspire the next generation as well to present a new set of family to get into boxing and all that stuff there, because we might have another champ in the next 20, let's say, probably 20 years. You know what I mean? With Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s grandson, we may see that. I could be wrong, but we may see that. You got Layla Ali, who's the daughter of Muhammad Ali. She was a champion in her day as well. Then also she has, I don't know if it's her nephew. I forgot how it works, but he's also doing his thing in boxing. And then obviously Chris Eubank Senior has another son that does boxing. Do you know what I mean? And he got into, I don't know what the actual age he got into boxing, but it does feel like, if anything, it was like at a latter stage in his life. But do you know what I mean? He's still doing his thing. Then obviously they got his nephew and stuff like Chris Eubank Senior's nephew doing boxing as well. Maybe, just maybe, some things are just what it is. So it was destined for a Eubank to win. Sorry, Benz. But it was still a good fight regardless. It's still a good fight. Massive, great. The way they fought, they literally were true warriors. True warriors. Anyway.
Thing I want. You could do for me one thing, which is to play this particular record. And I got it up on YouTube and I said, that's what I want.
In terms of what you were wearing and the decision making behind that,
yes.
Can you explain that? It feels fitting to tell people about that.
The Vivienne Westwood that I was wearing,
he needs
which she gave to me personally.
That's what he
for catwalking for her in
the
Milan.
Clothes,
back in about 1999. That's a very special coat, not just because of who gave it to me, how it was given to me, why it was given to me, the fact that she said, no, I can't give it to you, it's my husband's, and then surprised me when I was leaving, gave it to me on leaving Milan. If you go back to the late 1800s, you'll find that it was the czars or the kings who wore this type of garment. So is it an accident that I happen to be wearing a king's cloak? Rastafari.
It was an absolute war.
That's the second time it's
you and Nigel are the only people watching that as fathers. How was that experience from your perspective as a father?
I was told beforehand that I was to sit next to Turkey al-Sheikh. So when I went to take my seat, there was a young man sitting in my seat. And I said to whoever it was I was speaking to, well, there's someone in my seat. And he said, well,
hold
it was
on.
Ali. He said, well, I'm sorry.
I'm going to pull it up for a second, just so you can see it. Where is it? I'm going to...
Speaking to, well, there's someone in my seat. And he said, well, it was Ali. He said, well, I'm sorry, a young prince has come and...
How was that experience from your perspective as a father?
I was told beforehand that I was to sit next to Turkey al-Sheikh. So when I went to take my seat, there was a young man sitting in my seat. And I said to who...
All right. So the reason why I paused it, let me know in the comment section below what country, and if you watch my other channel, I already give you the clue for this reaction when I did this reaction. But anyway, what country flag is this? Let me know in the comments below. What country flag do you think this is?
Whoever it was I was speaking to, well, there's someone in my seat, and he said, well, oh, it was Ali. He
Hold
said,
on,
well, I'm sorry.
Wait. That was Michael Ward, bruv. Obviously, Declan Rice, Marcus Rashford, who he got backlash for going to the fight, but Declan Rice didn't. What kind of nonsense is that?
A young man sitting in my seat, and I said to whoever it was I was speaking to, well, there's someone in my seat, and he said, well, oh, it was Ali. He said, well, I'm sorry.
Hang on. I don't know how to put it. Yeah, I'm not just. Give me a second, people. I've got to do something real quick. Anyway.
A young prince has come and the prince is now sitting there. And I said, the prince is sitting in the king's seat? I said, that doesn't make any sense to me. He said, well, I'm sorry. I said, it's okay, no problem. So at that juncture...
Let me rewind it properly, because I was trying to figure out, is that Michael Ward?
In my seat. And I said to whoever it was I was speaking to...
Oh. I knew this was going to happen. Both or no? Give me a sec. Give me a second, people. I don't know why that was off. I could have sworn that was on. Anyway, sorry, people. This battery is about to. Oh. I don't even know what to do. Why is this? That's why I switched off. Oh. Actually, give me a second, people. All right, people, I'm back. Anyway.
Well, there's someone in my seat, and he said, well...
Oh, yeah, that is him.
Ali. He said, well, I'm sorry, a young prince has come and...
They're both Jamaican, by the way.
And the prince is now sitting there.
I'm going to mention next as well.
And I said, the prince is sitting in the king's seat? I said, that doesn't make any sense to me. He said, well, I'm sorry. I said, it's okay, no problem. So at that juncture, at that point, I'm right next to Nigel's corner, effectively. So I keep on walking around, and then there's a seat sitting right next to Nigel with a monitor, a TV monitor. I was like, okay, well, I'll sit here. But this is the corner of Connor. This is not Junior's corner.
This, the battery low.
And I sat there for 4 rounds, hearing all of the, you got to beat this, Eubank, you got to... I spoke to Nigel probably twice in this time. So I leant over and I said, hey, Nigel, you know, you can see my son's, you can see the size difference, huh? He said, yeah, don't worry about that, mate. That's all right. Size doesn't matter. I said, okay.
I mean, technically he's right. Size doesn't matter. I mean, if you see Mike Tyson and other fighters, Mike Tyson is short in comparison to most of the fighters he's fought, but he's knocked them out clean. So it essentially doesn't matter. It matters about your skill and your mental fortitude. You know what I mean?
Okay, all right. Another point I said, hey, you can see in my son's, you know, the jabs in your son's face. You know, he's ahead. He's ahead. He's got the jab in his face. He said, don't worry about it, mate. Don't worry about it, mate. It's all right, mate. Yeah, it'll come through. It's all... yeah. Come on, son. That's him. So we had a little back and forth. I guess he didn't want to engage, but we engaged. So after 4 rounds...
I don't think that he didn't want to engage. I think that's probably a thing where he's concentrating on watching. Because think about it, it's the thing of he's witnessing his own son fighting your son in this case. That thing about it, do you know how crazy this sounds? These two in the 90s fought each other. Chris Eubank Sr. and Nigel Benn in the 90s. Yeah, twice. One Chris Eubank Sr. won, and then the second one they drew. Right? Both times were just great, epic fights. Same way like with their sons now. Epic fight, but it's a thing of you're witnessing like history. You know what I mean? They're literally witnessing history, and that's your son. You're not going to try and keep your eyes off it, because the moment, like, I don't think you understand. When you're watching something and you're interacting with someone, you can get distracted. Do you understand that? You can get distracted, and this is the other thing about Chris Eubank Sr. He's so confident in his son that for him, it's just like, I don't know. It's mad because before I feel like, I swear he said he didn't believe Chris Eubank would win, but then at least son would win. But I get it. It's the mind games. Do you know what I mean? You gotta, if your son is seeing that, imagine your son is seeing your son is seeing the dad saying, "Yeah, you're gonna win." Like, it's mind games. No, I'll show you that I'll win, bruv. Do you know what I mean? I'll show you. You have to. That's how it is. Like I don't know. I don't know if you know, but okay, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I can say with some guys growing up with a father or whatever the case be, you know what I mean? They want to be able to show themselves, and not show themselves, but they want to be able to prove to their fathers what they can do. So if they tell them you can't do that, their instinct is to be like, oh no, but watch me, I can. And then naturally, guys are rebels, if that makes sense. I say naturally, but it's like, if you are a guy that is like, that has that leadership skills, you know what I mean, and you're naturally a leader, you're going to have that in you to be able to want to be a rebel, if that makes sense, and go against it. But at the same time, you still want to make your father, like in this context, you want to make your father proud. It's the same thing. Anyway, I won't get you there. Now I'm off in.
Once I got up and I went around to my son's corner, I'm so happy I did. In the last round, I was shouting, Rastafari, lick him up, Rastaf, lick him up, lick him, got him. I got into the
Rastafari, lick him. Hey, that ain't gonna ever get old. Oh man, listen. Oh man.
The feeling. I'm so grateful to my son, Christopher Livingston Eubank, Prince. I'm so grateful for your tenacity, for your strength of character, for your single-mindedness. You know, every dad, you know, has to go through this rite of passage where the son is actually saying, I'm going to do it my way. Okay, and every father reacts the same. So, you know, I wasn't going to lie down while you forced yourself to go into a direction that I didn't think was safe. And it wasn't safe. I was in an ambulance with you, young man. You're my son. You can't explain it. I love you. I'll always be here for you.
It was a fascinating battle. What did you say?
To answer your question, you obviously think that I've had time to watch the fight. You know, I've been sitting in a hospital room, sleeping in this position for 2 nights. So last night I had to, from London, go to Brighton. I got there at from about 10, got there about 12 o'clock. Tried to sleep because I had to come back up here in order to actually do this podcast. No, I've had no time to watch the fight, but I know what I felt. And when you feel it, it means it's a hit. My recollection is that from round 6, he's going toe to toe. So it's a.
No, yeah, he was going toe to toe. Anyway, he was generally going toe to toe, for real. No, for real, he was going toe to toe. Like, see, this is what I'm trying to say. For the first 3 rounds here, I thought, all right, you know what, Conor Benn is winning. Do you know what I mean? You got a few jabs in here and there. But then after that, Chris Eubank was winning most of it. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's go.
The battle of will. In those last 2 rounds, what they refer to as the championship rounds, I didn't know he could get through that. You know, I know his age. I know about the dehydration. I know he's doing what is not possible. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing left in you except the will which says, hold on. Rudyard Kipling's If. Again, if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. Look at the commotion. What happened in the fight? If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you but make allowance for their doubting too. Mr. Eubank, you've got to be at the fight. You've got to be at the fight. If you can wait and not be tired of waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, Don't give way to hating. And yet, don't look too good, nor talk too wise. Sorry about that. The wisdom is the spirit.
You ain't gotta be sorry
So
about
I was
crossing the
reporting that you had a conversation with Turkey before you showed up, Turkey Al Sheikh. Is there any truth to that at all, or are they just saying that?
God bless him, because he, when I went to see him, I don't know, it must have been about a month ago, he asked me, to support my son. And I said, the fight's not going to happen. So everyone actually saying to me, you got to support your son. I said, why would I support something when it's not going to happen? And as I said to you earlier, up until the referee said box, I would have bet everything that I have that it wouldn't happen.
What are your thoughts on a rematch? Someone suggested, I listened to that could happen in September. What do you think?
What I think is that I must remember what happened. I saw my son in a touch or go situation. Touch or go. Life or death. He doesn't respect it because he's a warrior. And a warrior goes out on his shield, which he proved. He's not going to listen to the rules. If he can actually evade the rules, if he can somehow sidestep the rules, he will, because he's a warrior. It would be an extraordinary blessing for him if he is wise enough to make the decision to walk off in the sunset. You see, nothing's cooler than that. That you can't buy. And when I say that, I mean there are billionaires who would pay everything to have what you now have. It cannot be bought. It has to be earned. Member say, I mean, tell you. Okay.
There's an interview with Conor, I don't know if you've seen it, where he says at the end of the fight, there was you and him had some words, and he said, I'm so glad you're here. Did you say anything back to him?
I said to Conor, I was always going to be here. He's my son. I saw the purity of him that has always had me speak of him in a positive way. He's in a very difficult position. So, the symptoms that he may be portraying to me, don't take it to heart. If he says he doesn't like you or he doesn't respect you, he doesn't really mean it. He's just talking. It's just... It's hot air. And everybody who's...
He's making... do you know what's funny, yeah? I'm not saying that he's... Fun that. If I was Conor Benn, I would have that. But I am that way. I don't. You know what I mean? But it's making it seem like you're a pretender, innit? You're a wannabe. You ain't got that hit yet. You ain't got no heart for that like that. But again, I don't think it's just that. Again, I genuinely feel like the fight for him was a personal one for him in terms of he wanted to seek vengeance with that. That's the sense it is again. And obviously, you get into a situation where at the end of the day, if that's your main mission, I'm not going to say that's his main mission because I do not know, but it almost felt as though that was genuinely his main mission, to become a boxer to the point where he can eventually fight a Eubank, and then, do you know what I mean? Had he won, you know what I mean? He will be satisfied, happy, whatever. But the fact that he lost, he's not going to be satisfied with that loss. You know what I mean? He's not. He's not going to be satisfied with that loss. And this is why people will be like, there should be a rematch. But there shouldn't be a rematch because of the rehydration clause and the weight clause and all the stuff there. There shouldn't be. If they're at the same weight level, fine. And I mean at the same weight level where they don't have to go up, they don't have to go down, there don't have to be no rehydration clause. They ain't got to be this or that. Just be at the level that they normally are supposed to be at. That's the only reason why I would think there should be a rematch. But I don't think it needs to be. Because Conor Benn needs to have a situation where he can create a legacy of his own. Because it feels like his legacy is attached to Chris Eubank Senior. Senior, but also Junior, basically. Because maybe you're a Conor Benn fan and you know all the fighters he has fought, right? I don't know all the fighters that Chris Eubank Jr. has fought, but I could name a few, like Liam Smith, Billy Joe Saunders. He was the other guy. Is it Nick Blacknell or something like that? Do you see what I'm saying? There's names I can literally think of where he has fought these people, and he's had his own career. Like, so again, if Conor Benn has had that for his career, now is that time. It doesn't need to, there doesn't need to be a rematch in September. There doesn't need to be. There literally doesn't need to be. In fact, I wouldn't even recommend for Conor Benn to have another match with anyone this year. If anything, next year. Like, it sounds wild, but you got to think about, like, obviously promotion, that's one thing, but also you got to literally think about the proper recovery of the body. Let's go.
Who's met Conor knows this. You can't get a sweeter young man than this. He's doing it to wind you up. In actual fact, he's your brother. It's the game. If you play the game, you can win. If you don't play the game, it's not going to age well.
It looked like you said something to Nigel as well. I think you gave him a hug that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not playing the game of ignorance. I told Nigel, I'm your brother. We've been doing this for eons. I will always win because I'll always choose the side of the spirit. The rest.
I wanted to ask you if there's like a moment with Junior on the way out where you can feel the presence of Seb, or if there's moments that you remember where they're there. If you don't want to answer that, that's fine, but I just want to...
I've got the truth. Junior is lying down on this stretcher bed. He's light sensitive, so he has a towel always over his eyes. In the ambulance, put something over my eyes. I had a little hat, and I put the hat. We're laying down in the hospital bed. He had this shroud here, the same beard of Sebastian, the same beard. And do you remember I said his face was swollen? But from the position he was sitting, he looked precisely and exactly like Sebastian. And I'm talking about spitting image.
That's
even now I've got the...
Like, I've seen it, but it's giving me chills. Like,
it's real for us. It's real. It's real for you too. But can you see? And when you see, can you speak what you see?
Yeah, I can.
Can you believe your own eyes? Okay.
Give it to me one time. Give it to me 2 times. Give it, 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 give it. No, 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 no. Oh, but I did it, did it, did it, did it, did it, die, 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 da, 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 da,
I know. Okay. His dad backs the Canelo fight. As much as this was a fight, because at first I'm thinking, I don't want to even see a Canelo fight, but I'm like, you know what? Now might be the perfect time for him to fight Canelo. You know what I mean? Canelo, don't get it twisted. Canelo was a fighter, you know. Anyway, I got too carried away. But anyway, I really liked. We're gonna read the most recent comments, the most recent ones. All right, look him. Shout out to Freaks Don't Sleep. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You fan, you fan, you fan. You know them ones there. Why is this man not being knighted? Because if you understand, at the end of the day, that just comes down to the simple fact you don't need to be knighted. Because being knighted by what? By who? Do you understand what knighthood is? That's to do with the British Empire. And you know what's so funny about that? I was going to read more comments, but this is a great segue into something else I'm going to react to. And that is, let me put it up real quick. Let me find it real quick on my thing to do. Which is, give me a second. I'm going to react to the Chanting Rastafari documentary. All right. If this is no. Wait a minute. Because Benjamin Savanayo, right here we go. Benjamin Savanayo, literally, he acts. It's so funny because I don't know what year it was. I can't remember how old I was, but I definitely was in secondary school. That's a fact. We were in. I know it was somewhere in London. I can't remember the name of the place right now. But anyway, it was a school trip, and I remember Benjamin Savanayo was there, right? And he was reading these poems, this, that, and the third. And then I remember him talking about the thing that stuck out to me the most that day, like. The thing that literally stuck out to me the most that day was Benjamin Savanayo basically saying, he was offered an MBE, but he rejected it. And he told the reason why he rejected it. And it stuck out to me for some reason. And years later, I found out the importance of why he's, you know what I mean? But I'm saying that because he was also a Rastafarian as well. You know what I mean? So, without further ado, we're going to react to Chanting Rastafari documentary. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Get me? You want me to react to more documentary, leave it in the comment section below. So let's just get straight into it. And the reason why I was going to give you, I mentioned about Michael Ward and D-Double-E and Chip, all Jamaican as well. Chris Eubank Jr., Jamaican as well. And Chris Eubank Sr., Jamaican as well. So, and the fact that Chris Eubank Sr. is now saying Rastafari in public, it's only right to understand why chanting Rastafari. Like, let's go. Maroon, you see, what was I talking about earlier? If you watched me from live earlier, what did I say about that? What did I say? Okay, in our epoch, the Rastafari have represented the leading force of the expression of racial consciousness. Walter Watney. Okay. You see? Are you hearing what they're singing? Listen to the lyrics. I don't even want to rewind it. Let's go. Okay, I understand all of this, but are we going to get into the documentary properly.
It come from so far. We are Africa, so we are over here, sir. You understand? So coming from so far, it have to have a spiritual connection. Them really
Alright, I'm not gonna say anything, let's go.
take Eni out of Africa, but them couldn't take Africa out of Eni, said we, you know?
Hold on. Influenced by the anti-colonial movement in Kekeze, Uganda, called Nanya Bingai, original Rastafaris called themselves Enyame. So this is the information I didn't know. There we go. If you're learning new something new here, hit the subscribe button. You want to continue learning something new, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification. Get me? Let's keep moving. Let's go.
The Ayabingi is thousands of years old. It's not a 100-year thing limited to Jamaica. If you will research Queen Muhumusa, who did not inaugurate but recalled the Ayabingi, like Haile Selassie also.
History of the Nyabingi comes from Queen Nyabingi, come from Kikezi, Uganda.
She was a great drummer, and she was a warrior queen. So, true, we use the drum, and we know that she was a great drummer. Play a drum for 4 or 5 hours at a time.
But the warrior queen, Nyabingi, is really where the idea came from. She was a warrior lady, you know. We do a lot of fight physically on the battlefield to protect the tradition of.
That's how you know the battery's low. Hold on. All right, let's go.
Black people, not even Rastafari, you know, but black people. That lady, as far as I know, is that one that comes for equal rights and justice to everyone, you know. And I could have a tradition, you know, by the name of Nyabingi. Queen Nyabingi rise up against the colonial powers. She was a mystic. And it is said that she the defender of the poor and the oppressed. That's basically it. Just like Nyabingi order. Because in early Jamaica in 1920s, it was a colonial rule at that time. So Rastafari rise up through anti-colonial struggle of total oppression in the 1920s come right down to now. So we could easily identify with the struggles of Queen Nyabingi and relate it to Jamaica in that colonial era.
The Rastafari bridging them, so when we use Nyabingi. At the time, they used to say Nyabingi means dead, the white oppressor. And after a while they changed it, the black and white oppressor.
In those days, Rastafari couldn't chant like here. It had to be.
That's interesting. Like, that is genuinely interesting.
In some deep bush. And it wasn't something built pretty like this. It was just a stick with a tarpaulin. But it was somewhere where you had to really walk and go.
There was no special place that we used to chant. All of us come together and one virgin would say, you know, I man can host the groundation of the gates.
You know, so the next bingy they out of pit 4, and you would tell him, and he would tell somebody else, and then we'd reason together and say, when we going? So, well, it's Friday night, we're going, so where we going to meet? All right, make we meet downtown at 4 o'clock, and we take a bus, and groups would go together.
I would just go there like 2 or 3 days before. I would just chuck up a thing, I would just chant.
So you would hear the drums from a distance, and you know, say, are we getting close?
Every other parish, every other time, gathering time, So each parish would get a bingy this month, and whatever the month is, that will be a celebration month.
Have you ever heard 2,000 people singing? Okay. Well, that is how the Rastafari liberty was.
At night time, we'd go check Naya Bingi, you know, and it was, you can't find words for that feeling, because it was totally different.
You get herb, food, care, advice, counsel, free heart.
It was so great that it was surprising. I never knew Rasta worship in such a holy manner.
It's like a spiritual blitz, you know? Something you never encountered before, you encountered for the first time. It's like a mind-blowing situation.
Of a mystical thing. It made me feel like I'm in the beginning of time again. You know? And it really took my mind off of the pressures of the...
We just sit here and we just go 4 days, you know, with the Naya Bingi grounds, you know, eat to sleep, you know, we're fresh there.
Really put my mind back in time where, you know, it's just about praising the Almighty and not so much. It's like a break from the world.
First experience at Bingi was like similar to astral traveling. It's a vibration.
Okay, so what I'm understanding that Naya Bingi, they're celebrating Naya Bingi by putting the stuff in a situation where they're celebrating her doing musical situation. That makes sense. Is that it? You can also comment below. Maybe I'm not paying attention as much. I don't know.
That bring it to a celestial height. You know, you see me? You see me? So it bring you to the pinnacle of your highest point of yourself, the highest point of your intelligence.
The drumming, the mood, the singing was nothing I've ever experienced before, and it has never left me. I have always said to myself that later on in life, I have to go settle back into some of that. You know, it's a spiritual inspiration that it needs the experience of every human being.
Many things. Naya Bingi is really a university because you learn how to hunt in terms of going to get the firewood for the fire. You learn about preparation in terms of getting the grounds ready. You learn about family in terms of sharing. You learn about togetherness. You know, so you know, what Naya Bingi can teach you is a movement of life.
So it's a self-building, more analytical.
Damn, why is that so loud?
Okay, go back soon.
Anyway.
In tune with iration.
It's a spiritual vibe, you know, so it's a spiritual growth.
If you're a weak person, you can stay into a bingi. If you're not a spiritual person, because the fire key is there, it's a purging fire. So the bingi alone, you have a fire at the altar, which is inside, and you have a fire outside. Bingi is a cleansing fire. Plus the beats now make your soul, your spirit lift to a different level. And you look internally. Whatever hatred or bad feelings you have, you come in a bingi, that's gone.
There's something about the drumming, you know, that wakes up something internally.
The connection is there, spiritual. You know, and if you check our stack, it's really the King's music, you know. Because if you trod anywhere else in the world, it's only I and I alone make drum that way there. So Naya Bingi drum is a special drum.
It's 3 drums: bass, funde, and the repeater. The repeater is a sharp instrument that teaches one, that tells you what's going on. The funde is one that tells you to do good. Do good to mankind, do good to everybody.
So this one just hold the funde, is saying do good to the people.
But the bass is a heartbeat, a thunder bass. It's a 2 big bass, not a small one, you know, massive bass. So when...
One thing for certain, I didn't expect this. I'm only going to talk about this is where the word come from, but I get it. Chanting Rastafari, more or less, is Mbingi, but the reason for Mbingi, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, there has to be more to this. But we'll look into that another time. Let's keep moving.
It raises consciousness, raises blood pressure. If we have a low blood pressure, gone up. The 3 instruments reminds you of who you are and where you came from, your Africanness.
Hold on. The 1-2 beat of Mbingi can be heard in the songs of reggae most famous artists. Okay. Bob Marley, Burning Spear, Henry Cliff, Dennis Emmanuel Brown, Gregory Isaacs, Big Youth, Daddy Leroy.
Out and I being really create reggae. You know, the 1-2 heartbeat there. That's where, you know, reggae really comes from.
It's the beginning of the music, that's it. The binging, the now binging hard, you know, is where all of the music comes from, you know. What them call heartbeat. You cool. So I play now binging right there, so now so you can go there. You know? So that's where the whole thing come from.
The Naya Bingi drumming, you know, the 1-2 heartbeat drop. That was the development of rocksteady leading into reggae, where the music kind of slowed down from the fast up-tempo of mento and ska till it slows down with the rocksteady and then even gets slower with the reggae.
Naya Bingi, rhythm, heartbeat. Yeah, it's the truth. Rastafari music, which from that music come all music.
There you go, Rastafari music. I was waiting for them to mention that word in this documentary. It only took them 11 minutes and 31 seconds, but let's keep it moving.
I will go read Psalm 9 with the understanding that this is a coronation psalm. That when His Majesty was crowned 1930, this is what everyone chants. I will praise Thee, O Lord, with my whole heart. I will show forth all Thy marvelous works. I will be glad and rejoice in Thee. I will sing praise to Thy name. When mine enemies are turned back, they shall fall and perish.
Well, Brethren used to create chant, but enough of this chant was used out of the Bible. A lot of Rasta was influenced by the Bible.
The chant which they sung were chants which I knew from the Baptist church. I knew from the revival camp, you see, choruses and things like those, hymns, sankis. I knew all of these hymns and sankis because my grandpa was a deacon.
A lot of the chant, them changed around the words, but it's the same sankey, the same Bible doctrine. I wasn't a Bible person, because I never know Rastafari to read and write. I know it to the genes and spirituality. I was from that time to this time, and the same time is I same one. So a lot of even the Rastafari movement, even until now, a lot of bridging them was influenced through the Bible. You know, and this Bible, I never say Haile Selassie I nine.
Naya Bingi is a path, it's like a road. You know, the chanting is like a road that takes you someplace. Based on how genuine you are to the chanting, you know, that's like a fuel. You know, some people more into it than others. The persons that are more into it go far on the journey.
Time when people gather, something negative usually come out of it. The fact that the concept of coming together just to do good, no buying, no selling, no rush, no timing, no nothing. Just gather, show love, share food, eat, praise the Most High, and then you go back into the world.
Anyone that knows or has experienced years of Ayabingi life will only tell you about pleasure, about happiness, and about love. The warm current of love that Rastafari share.
I don't know how the one them see it still, but we have to just learn to love ourselves. And if we love ourselves, everything will come after.
I still want to know.
Slave master, you come again.
This has left me wanting to know more information.
I and I people were taken from Africa.
All right.
Down in the Caribbean.
All right. So no.
But they were born in
production. That's exactly what I was telling you earlier in regards to, like, what I was telling you earlier. All right. All right. So trust me, this is no mythical feeling of the Nyabenga comes with I was raised going to the house. It's a deep spiritual feeling, and I always said to myself, chanting in this manner is the closest connection to the Most High Yahweh. Wants to hear those drums. We must learn to love ourselves. Everything will come after. That's facts. I said that. This was a blessing. Jamaica changed my life. It taught me so much about life. Jah, love, and Jah, blessing. But still, I need to understand what is Rastafari. What is it? Rastafari. No. Yeah, Rastafari. What does that mean? So, this has left me wanting to learn more. I am intrigued. Do you know what I mean? I'm literally intrigued. And I think, see, here's the thing, it might be a thing where I'm going to have to watch this one instead, The Liberty of Rastafari, and maybe that's it, rather than watch something that's 10, 15 minutes, because it's not really going to give the real in-depth of what it is and whatever. But it was still a great watch, because I still learned something new. I never knew the Nyabingi was, in fact, I didn't even know what that was in the first place, but I now know the history of it, of the whole situation, how it was a woman at first. And then they said what they mean, then they changed the meaning of it or added to it. And then, they come together now and again. I say now and again, they come together, and then they have a moment where they just, they're on the drums, and the drums mean different things and all that stuff. So I understand it from that perspective. Do you know what I mean? And it's just connected for them. It's a spiritual connection for them. Yeah, I want to see that for them. All right, because if that's the way they want to live, that's the way that they want to live, and they do believe that's. Get me? I'm not one to ever tell someone how to live their life. People live that way, live that way. You know what I mean? Anyway, but I do find it very interesting how when they're talking about songs, like how one of the elders, she was saying how she recognized some of the songs because some of the songs were similar to what was sung in the church, and because of she said her father was a deacon or something like that. Anyway, like, and I'm not even saying that in a disrespectful way or anything like that. I'm just like, well, if you're gonna, you know what I mean, like, you might as well. But hey, here's what it is. Do you? But I'm still intrigued to know more about what is Rastafari. This has not left me in the space of me understanding about Rastafari, to be honest with you. But anyway, but leave it in the comment section below. Let me know what your thoughts are. But we are going to react to the Headies, Heady Awards 2025. But before we do that, let's see if we got any shout outs. No shout outs? Oh, that's fine. I'm just trying to think. Would they 1 hour 56 minutes? Okay. All right, this is what I'm gonna do instead. I'm gonna do. Something completely different because obviously it looks like we're in a situation where if I don't go to. Wow. Okay, business news Nigeria. This is a better to go to. All right. So by the way, my name is Verstar, aka the Alkebulan Trust Reacts when it comes to all things reactions, and right now we're going to react to the full Headies 2025 winners. You don't want to subscribe to that, at least not yet. But yeah, let's get straight into it because this should be our Grammy Awards. By the way, this should be our Grammy Awards. Like, but I get if you value the Grammy Awards highly, then it is what it is. Because listen, one of my favorite rappers or MCs, should I say, gathered 5 Grammys for one song. Ironically, first time ever. Anyway, let's keep moving. Anyway, I won't talk about that. Let's keep moving. All right, so the 17th edition of the Heady was dazzled Lagos in April 27, 2025, as Nigeria's brightest musical stars converged. I don't know what that word means. Anyway, at the landmark event center for a night of celebration and recognition. You see, that's what it's about. Hosted by Nollywood actor Nancy. I'm gonna end up butchering her name, but it's what it is. It's a man. The event was shaken. Egusi, I'm gonna butcher that name as well, and it's so ironic because I'm party about and I should be reading off the names like it's nothing. Get me? We move. In 2 awards, most of the night for the Viewers' Choice Awards of the year, the best music video, the late Mobad featured Chike's song, also picked up an award for best street hop artist for his 2023 single "Ask About Me," while Rema's his clinched album of the year. Yeah, this is why Tiwa Savage said what she said. In fact, I should react to that clip, but not to this video. But yeah, she said what she said. Alright, this is what she said it. Even though the time of when I was recorded and everything, it might have not been at the same time. Anyway, the show pulsed with energy, blending electrifying performances with heartfelt tributes, all while honoring the artists who shaped the soundscape the past year. All right. So here's the list of winners and visits to winners. Thames with burning. All right. So C1. The categories. Other people in that category was Burn the Boy Fire, Aristotle, Girion, Last Heartbreak Song, SARS featuring LJ, Billions. Producer of the year was London, Ozeba, of course. Wait, hang on. Even Rema himself, like, hold on. I'm seeing someone just make up noise, and I'm like, relax, bruv. No need to hear that. Anyway, so producer of the year, the list of people in that was SARS for Happiness. Obviously, we mentioned London was the winner, but for Ozeba. The Magic Sticks with for Baskiwa. Then Rema, the producer X, Q Beats, Deet, and Klimper Boy. Anyway, then Dibs with different pattern. All right, so Heady's next rated. All right, so you got King Maddie, Shady Poppy, Odomo Black, and Iron Math, and NASA Boy, Odomo Black 1. So that's good to see. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I would have given it to Shadow Poppy. King, who would have you given it to? Leave your answers comments below. I think because of the year. Yeah, Odomo Black. Yeah. And Afrobeats album of the year, like I said, Rema won that. But in that category was Stubborn by Victor Nee, Work of Art by Shaki, The Year I Turned 21 by Iris Dot. Oh yeah, she released that last year as well. Wow. Anyway, Jiggy Forever by Young John, and obviously Remo one. Song Writer of the Year, Simi. King Maddie. So at least King Maddie won something. Because I was thinking at least King Maddie, but no, she actually still won something. Vision of for Visions, but others in the category were Simi, then for Stranger, then Lona, for Can't Breathe, then Bloody Civilian, Family Meeting, and then Wizard Change, Stage of Life. So Rookie of the Year, however, is Zeradel, and then that was Lona and K-Star and Tevez. And then Best Rap Single is Cast by Shady Poppy featuring Audible Black. Audible Black featuring Bloody Civilian and Wale, Blood on the Dance Floor. So when I think of that song, Blood on the Dance Floor, I genuinely think of Michael Jackson's version. There was blood on the dance floor, blood on the dance floor. There was blood on... Hey, listen. And I just can't take it, Dun, 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 dun. Hey, Michael Jackson's got hits for days. I don't think you understand. Hey, anyway. Susie got your number. Susie ain't your friend. She got you and I listen. And the older you get and you realize what that song actually meant, yeah. Yeah. Anyway. I lost train of thought. Anyway, so Ladapo and Rosa Morello for Hallelujah, Magneto and for Canada, and Jerick for Ija. See, I'm butchering the name. Ija and Walk. See, look at me. Butchering. I'm butchering. But it's good to see a combination of both cultures that I'm from winning. Anyway, Shadow Poppy featuring Audible Back for Cast. So glad they won Best Rap Single. Best Vocal Performance for Female. So you got Iris Star for Last Heartbreak Song, Niniola for Level, Simi, Stranger, and then Leah, I'm Done was actually the winner. Then Yemi Holiday for Tomorrow. I haven't heard I'm Done. So some of these songs, I'll be real with you, I haven't reacted to. So it makes me feel like I need to pay attention and start reacting to some of these songs more often. You know what I mean? The music video of the year. Of course, director Pink was going to win. There's no other director in this world like that. Like, yeah. If you see me react to most videos, yeah, on this channel, the majority of them are directed by Pink. So, yeah, it only makes sense. It reminds me of a time, yeah, when I was let's say a teen. Like, I remember for time, every music video that I saw, and I mean, this is no exaggeration, Hype Williams would be the name I would see as the director. Hype Williams. That guy was working. And so was Pink. But anyway, music video of the year was so in that was Remo for Charm, then Jide Ajala, Metaverse, then Pelix, Emeka, Shine, Like Ice Spice, then Matex, Ojo Piano, then yeah, we already mentioned the Pink one. Tito Amori, Shaw, and then Dami Swift, Twitch, Namani. The best street hip hop artists. All right, so got Shay Vibes, Different Pattern, Ioma featuring Vibe Boy DML, D-Law. Then you got Shadow Poppy and featuring Oliver Back Cast. Then you got Zeus Jado, John Ball, then Mobad Asked About Me, which Mobad won, which I'm glad he won. May he rest in peace on that. You know what I'm saying? And then Afrobeat Single of the Year. Let's see who the winner is. Flavor Big Baller, of course. Anyway, Young John featuring Kids Daniels and Say Vibes. Big Things. Kids Daniels Tweet remix. Chike featuring Mobad. Then also Ashake, Remember. Then High C, well, obviously the Ogechi tune, you know. Ogechi, the tune that Jux is ripping up basically, copied. You know what I mean? And then they want to call that bongo flavor. No. Look what the Afro Beats single of the year. Anyway, Viewers' Choice Award. So the winner is Shike and Mobad. So glad they won. Again, recipe to Mobad. So who's in that category was Young John featuring Kiss Daniel and Shay Vibes, Big Things. And obviously, in fact, that song should have won the award for something. Don't go teaching with Davido and High C and Boy P and Brown Joe. They should have won something. Like at least, I'm gonna say at least Song of the Year. If you think about it in context of how the year went, do you know what I mean? And the fact that, and I don't know when the voting took place, because you have to remember that song that Drooks released. If you think about it, that should have played a role into. Wait a minute now. Clearly, that is the song of the year. It reminds me of a time. Ironic. I won't say what I want to say, but like, it reminds me of a time. Not even that. It reminds me of, you see, in football, like usually what happens when a team is winning and dominating in all the cases, especially with a particular style, other teams try to copy that style because it's the winning formula. So that's what I feel happened. That's a genuine what I feel happened, and there's no shame in the game. Get me? If it can't be original, just copy in it. Get me? I know someone else that did that, but after a while, when you get found out, in it. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's keep moving. Then you got digital, because I don't want to sound like I'm hating either, because I'm not hating. I'm just saying what I'm saying. So Viewer Choice Award. Remo was in that as well. Shay Vibes, Kid Daniel, Thames, Shadow Poppy, featuring Ololufe Black and Flavor, featuring Fireboy, DMO, and Flavor with Big Baller. Digital Artist of the Year. What does that mean? What does that mean? Digital Artist of the Year. Can it just be Artist of the Year and leave that at that? What does Digital Artist of the Year mean? Like, I need to know. But Davido won anyway. You know what I mean? And Wizkid wasn't even nominated for this. Well, even nominated for this choice. Tell me how and tell me why. Tell me how and tell me why. I want to know why. But then again, what did Wizkid release last year anyway? But even irrespective if he released the album or not last year, you still got to take into consideration. No, he did. Give me a second. Let me see something. Because maybe I'm not thinking correct. No, he did release an album last year. Wizkid released Mariah on the 22nd of November 2024. Like, I'm not even playing back. He literally, like, how? So how is he not nominated? Anyway. Digital Artist of the Year. Aristar was in that category. Remo, Shally Poppy, Thames. We know Davido when we mentioned. And Kiz Daniel and the Shake. I'm still surprised. That Wizkid. It's not even. I'm going to check something in a minute. I'm going to check something. Hang on. Some of it was lonely at the top by Shake. Kiz Daniel was nominated. Aristar, Shake and Mobile, and so was Remo, and then Flavor also. Best vocal performance of Loj for Billions. Best movie soundtrack was A Tribe Called Judah. They won. Special recognition awards. Look at me, I'm about to butcher some names right here. So I'm just going to shorten the names. Let's say Lagos State Governor, Jide. I'm going to call him that. You know what I mean? Alex, Yeah, I'm not gonna butcher names right here. Anyway, and Casey, I'm glad Casey got some recognition as well. And yeah, so humanitarian awards. Temi Adekunle Johnson won. Mitchell Makoro won. Best East African artist. Okay, Juma Drooks won, but in the category of BN. Bruce Melody and Azawe. I'll be real with you. The only two I've only just looked. I will not lie to you. And then again, I've heard of Diamond Platnumz. And then Best Central African Artist. See, this is why I like these type of things. And if there's one for East, West, South, this is why this should be our Grammy Awards. Do you get it? Best Central African Artist, Inosbi, from DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. Then there's Gaz Mawete, who's part of the category MRE, Gabon, Ololufe, Gabon. I'm butchering names. Hey, listen, here's what it is. Singuila, Central African Republic, KC. No, that's not KC. You see what's going on here? Kosi, Cameroon. So wait, how comes? What's that girl's name again? The one I forgot her name, but her song was. I'm pretty sure that was released last year. It doesn't matter, but it was a very heartfelt type of song. You know what I mean? Like. The word, but see, all right. So yeah, that's who won. Yeah. So it's interesting. It's interesting. Give me a second. I need to see something. Because at the end of the day, I feel like. Look, at the end of the day, no Wizkid nominations. Hang on, give me a second. Let me see something. Rather than using a different source. See? I type in Wizkid's name and I can't find his name here, bruv. Like, so it just got me thinking, at the end of the day, how can you have an award? It almost feels like it's biased. But at the same time, I feel like they did best. Then again, they did do it. Let me go back to this properly. I need to really, really make sure that I know what I'm talking about here.
You know, they gave him an award, but they did not give him the proper award. It was handshake committed.
All right. So this is why I need to actually watch the videos, watch it properly. I know I've seen where I can watch it. As you've seen, I saw a thing. I'm gonna react to it properly again, but I want to give you a summary of what I've watched instead of just watching it with you, because I ain't gonna lie, kind of long-winded. Over an hour for me to watch, because it's gonna take up to 4 hours if I watch that, if I react to it. Because you know, Shay Poppy wasn't actually given an award properly. It was like a handshake or something like that. I'm like, what's going on, bro? Like, there's some things in life where it's like, if you're gonna do something, do it proper. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to see something here. All right, so because let's quickly get into this properly. Where is it? I know I saw it. All right, so you got East, and obviously, see, this is what I don't understand. There should have been, there literally should be some of the year for like East. So either do a thing where it's Song of the Year for Africa as a whole. That's one thing. Then also do a Song of the or artist or African artist of the year. Then do East African artist of the year, West African artist of the year, Central African artist of the year, and West, East, North, East, South, West, and East. If they do it that way, everyone gets a Central. Like everyone gets. I don't know what's playing. I don't know what's gonna like. Like if they did it that way, no one can have a just make. Well, look, a war show is a war show. There's always going to be some fallout here and there, but at least there's like an opportunity for other people. Do you get it? Like I don't know. Like obviously it's his 17th year or something like that. So I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna react to. Like I said, I'm gonna watch it, and then I'm gonna give you a summary of what went down. Because end of the day, it's one thing reading out the. This is what's playing. It's one thing listening. Give me a sec. Yeah, it's one thing. It's one thing me reading out who's the winner, this, that, and third. But it's another thing to actually witness the actual show. Like it's different. But yeah, man. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. You will By the way, you want to shout out, leave that in the live chat right now. I'm going to see if I could get onto one more thing. Let me see. It's just one more. Yeah, just one more. Just one more. So we're going to head over to YouTube real quick. But yeah, man. By the way, my name is Versatile, aka the Alkebulan Trust Reacts, all things reactions. And yeah, do you know what? We're going to react. Oh, wait. No. Oh, wow. Seb Eubank. That literally popped up on my timeline because I was reacting to his dad. That's wow. But anyway, Red 3-2 and Kano, Home Sweet Home. Do you know who's got an album called Home Sweet Home? Kano. Released that like 21 years ago. That is anyway. That's for another time. And another channel. But what I was going to react to, let me go to it now. Home team history. This is the last thing. Well, this was 3 days ago. This is different compared to what I was going to react to in the first place, but this is the latest one. Will there be a new era for the Catholic Church and the African Pope? Yeah. Let's go. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. Let's go.
Look, I know you're upset and I know that you're scared, but I'm trying to help you here. You running away is literally the worst thing that you could do right now.
What are you talking about? Mason's dead. I messed up and I know.
Whoa.
Before we begin,
hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. My name is Versatile, aka the Alkebulan Trust. Name you can trust when it comes to all things reactions. So, without further ado, let's get into this video right now. All right, welcome. I don't know what else was in my head, but let's go.
I want to acknowledge the loss of Pope Francis. He certainly meant a lot to people all around the world. And no matter your belief system, I think any man who dedicates himself to what he believes in does an honorable thing. That being said, an important decision is to be made regarding the next pope, and several African candidates are said to be part of the conversation.
Bring that back, bruv.
What up, African world? It's Timir, and welcome back to another video of African history, culture, and worldview. By supporting this channel on Patreon, you're helping in the creation of these videos and contributing to this content. The link to Patreon is in the description box below. From my research, this isn't the first time an African pope has been part of the conversation. However, because Catholicism has been growing the fastest on the African continent, according to some sources, and feels a bit different. Some within the Vatican aren't giving the public much confidence of an African pope. According to one source, some African contenders' names have been circulating, but Vatican insiders are skeptical that any of them have a realistic chance of becoming pope, partly because none have been subjected to the same level of public scrutiny as most Western cardinals. The African candidates have been said to be Ghanaian Cardinal Peter Kodwo Apia Turkson, Democratic Republic of Congo's Cardinal Fridolin Ombongo Bosungu, and Ivory Coast's Cardinal
No, think about it for a moment. You see how Pope Francis, if memory serves correct, he was also doing his best to, the situation that was going on in Congo, he was doing his best to make sure things, you know what I mean? Like, so when I think about it, just imagine the Pope being from Congo, just for a minute. Just imagine. Like, imagine it for a moment. But listen, let's get back to reality.
Ignace Bessie Dogbo. One looming question that must be asked is, why should the diaspora really care about the potential of an African pope? One valid critique of the African diaspora is that we tend to idealize things that don't originate from an African mind. Some voices within the diaspora encourage us to value our own institutions and socio-political constructions. It's a fair critique, one that is in part shared by Ugandan philosopher and poet Okat Bitek. Okat Bitek wasn't really a fan of the role Christianity played in Africa. He made an interesting claim that traditional Africa's conversion to Christianity wasn't really genuine. The African of tradition who went to church did not reject his culture. He had no alternative offered to him. He saw the church as a necessary ladder to power and material gain. Power, status, and wealth were the main attraction.
Listen, I hear it, yeah, and I completely hear it. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions, and obviously, yeah, you can look at facts and be like, okay, this happened, and you can link this to this and link to this to that. But there's no denying that God exists. Do you understand? There's no denying that. And I'm saying that especially from a personal experience. Just that if I was to give you the many testimonies that I have in my life, you would know and believe that, bro, yeah, there is a God. Now, listen, if you don't want to, and look, if you don't want to believe in God, that's up to you. If you don't want to believe in Christianity and want to follow another religion or whatever, that's up to you. You know what I mean? I don't disrespect anyone that follows another religion or another path. Your journey is your journey. My journey is my journey. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. We've got to respect everyone else's individual journey. And I get why some people will have a disdain to certain things because it's linked to certain things. But at the same time, I'm like, if you have a disdain for one thing that's linked to another thing that you think, it's like, okay, maybe you should be. It's like, for example, if you look at the way Western society is set up, yeah, I'm telling you this from now, it's such a contradiction because it's like, there's some things that, anyway, I want to get into it because it sounds very much political and all that stuff there, so I'm not going to get into that. And the two things that can really divide people, unfortunately, is politics and religion. But the things that can reunite people can also be politics and religion, especially religion. And this is what I liked about Pope Francis. He didn't care if you practice Islam or any other religion. He respected the religion. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's keep moving. Let's go.
Attractions of the Christian missionary at the height of the colonial regime. It was not salvation from sin that attracted the African to the altar. The salience of his argument is founded on historical realities, and to dismiss it would be no simple thing to do. As an example, the initial engagement with Catholicism between the Empire of Congo and Portugal instantiates Bitek's point. Some scholars suggest that King Nzinga Nku's conversion to Catholicism had a political undercurrent. In fact, scholar John Thornton tells us that Joao was reputed to have renounced the faith, or at least cooled in it towards the end of his reign. Despite this historical perspective, some elites within the Congo Empire throughout the 15th and 18th centuries took Catholicism quite seriously. This is a well-documented reality. For example, King Nzinga Nku's grandson, Kinu Mbemba, later named Enrique, became a recognized bishop. Enrique became an ordained priest and was elevated to the status of bishop in 1518. He officiated in Rome for 2 years before returning to Congo, where he was appointed by his father to lead the local church.
That's interesting.
As we can see, Africans in particular below the Sahara have had a centuries-long engagement with Catholicism and Christianity as a whole, contributing to the growth of the.
So one could say it's long overdue for an African pope. Fair is fair, right? But listen, whoever becomes the next pope, they got big shoes to fill. You know what I'm saying? Like, to follow Pope Francis. You know what I mean? Because anything else, I'm gonna just, I don't know. It is what it is. I shouldn't be one to judge, but yeah.
Faith. And it'd be interesting to see if an African originating from, say, West or Central Africa could be elected to lead the millions of Catholics all around the world. Well, I'm all out, guys. If you like these videos and want to help in its continued development, consider supporting the home team on patreon.com. The link is in the description box below. Know thyself. Remember your ancestors. Peace.
It's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's what it is.
Help yourself to a hand grenade.
You're very kind.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize that's for a movie. It actually genuinely looks like for something different. It looks like it's for a holiday, but if you know, you're not. That's what it looks like. Anyway. Don't know why this is being recommended to me, but stay tuned to. Make sure you subscribe to my other channel because I'm gonna react to something different in regards to. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, I'm no one to judge. I'm just reacting. Anyway, let's see what people are saying real quick. So hey, he may be African, but okay. Kepeshi Imhotep says 1623. He may be African, but his values hold strong to the colonial mindset. Very conservative guy. Don't want him in. Who are you talking about? Who? There were 3 guys mentioned. Who are you talking about? Like seriously, who are you talking about? Who? Get me? El Chancho said the one African right now that's being touted as the next potential pope has very reactionary conservative politics. Okay, I didn't know that. So this one says it's very simple. We ought to be in all these foreign extremist ideologies. Concentrate our focus on reality. And the reality here is that our history compromises of agricultural sciences, arts, architecture, auto mechanics, commerce, economics, fishing, law, mathematics, medical sciences, metallurgy, mining, philosophy, physical sciences, shipbuilding, etc. These are our bread and butter, and the things we ought to return to studying conscientiously. Is that how you said that word? I like how they said that. I respect that. I genuinely. Wait, what was that? There have been African popes before. Victor I, Victor I, Julius, and Metadius II. That is interesting. That is something I didn't know. Let's see. Pope. Hold on. Pope Victor. While it's believed that Pope Victor I was of North African descent, there's no definitive evidence to confirm his race or appearance. Safe, okay. Let's this one. Let's see another one. Hold on. Pope Sis. Oh, this is interesting. Pope Gelasius I was reigned from 492 496 AD. Is considered to be of African descent, specifically from the Roman province of Africa, according to the British Broadcasting Corporation. That's interesting. Anyway, while some sources state he was born in Rome, it's believed that this refers to his birth within Roman Africa before the Vandal invasion, says particular source. He's one of 3 African popes acknowledged by historians, alongside, wait for it, Pope Victor I and Pope Miltiades, all from the Roman province of Africa. You cannot make this up. This is interesting. I'm going to put whomever. Well, it would be the 4th if an African became Pope. Anyway, so let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Let's keep it moving. Give me a shout out to everyone that's been watching, everyone that's supporting. I appreciate you lot a lot. But yeah, that's me done for today. Get me make sure to stay subscribed, because you never know what day I'm gonna go live. You never know. You've got to get notified. When you're notified, you'll see what I react to. You know what I mean? Like, imagine, he would have thought that I would have reacted to what I just reacted just now. You understand? Initially, it was something else, but it ended up being that. So anyway,